wonder is how we have four. I call it the magic of TV. But yes, Queen Mbori Saina, great to have you. She's an editor with the Nairobian. And just before we took the break, the music break, we were talking about International Women's Day. And now that it's a lady who has joined us, maybe you'd let us know, what did you get up to over International Women's Day?
Well, International Women's Day is a very important day for women like myself and Adhiambo here, of course.
And many others.
And many other women. And what really struck me was how social media was busy congratulating the women in their lives, which is quite encouraging. But I don't know whether we are there yet, because for me, the moment this day will be extremely significant is the day we manage to reduce the gender gap. I don't know whether we have succeeded in that, particularly in Kenya.
Well, I guess we're making with the one-third gender rule not fully being implemented.
Yes.
I think we still have a long way.
We still have a long way to go.
But it's being worked on, by the way. Like I would choose truly on a day like this to not dwell on what is not good, but also really dwell on what is good. This is the country where right now I think we have women representing in different calibers. Whether it's the corporate side, you find women shining. Whether it's in government, you actually find women shining. Whether it's entertainment, you find them shining. Of course, there are few bad seeds that we are still fighting. But when it's 2016, and you can see, I was telling you about those grannies, those photos that were taken by one really talented photographer on grannies, on cool. Those grannies are cool, man. You've seen them, the way they're rich grannies. And they're Kenyan grannies. They are so hot. And this is a Kenyan photographer who just did a setting and took photos. And you know they're doing that cigar and they're styled and they're all so beautiful. They're styled. The cigar, by the way. It's
I want to see if I'm able to get those photos, because those photos were just
amazing. And that's art.
Yeah, that's art.
And you can imagine that somebody who's 82 posed and looked that good and posed for a 20-something-year-old so that they can be able to bring a different perspective to it. I choose to celebrate the good and the far that we have come with this, because we still have a long way to go, but there's still good things to celebrate.
Absolutely.
So for me, that day was one of those days I was just like, thank you. I didn't need any chocolate, Solo didn't do any, Solo. But it's all right. It's all right.
Didn't you check my social media update? But I chose to appreciate women. I think there's so much that our sisters, our mothers, our daughters go through, and I, right now in society we're not at a point where we're no longer at a point where physical strength is measured by how big, how strong you are. I think it's more about how empowered you are, and it's the power of the brain, and the women have come a long way. They've really done a lot for us. All the mothers, I celebrate my mom, who's obviously watching right now. And sometimes I look at scenes that happen to women and caused by men, and I really ask myself what is happening, and how much do we respect these women? Because it was about yesterday or 2 days ago, I saw city councilors carries dragging a woman on a wheelchair, and she was screaming and trying to fight them off, and they were like a group of 8 men. So I think it's very important for us to recognize and celebrate the women.
And I think to take advantage of a day like that to ensure that we actually celebrate women, backbone they are to society.
Yes.
Because really many of us would not be where we were if it was not for our mothers, our aunties, our sisters. So really, and just those photos, I don't know if we'll be able to see this on screen, but we're talking about some grannies who are posing. I don't know if we'll be able to get that, Buana Director, but there is one of the pictures with some great photos.
They're beautiful grannies, man.
I'll just see whether we can get this, because we should have had this with our screens, but anyway, let's see whether we can zoom in and get that. But that's one of them, and an absolutely amazing photo shoot.
That's a cool grandma.
That's
a power to the women
there. And let me see if I can just push it up a little bit. There's another one.
Yes.
There. Oops. It's gone too fast. Just
there's another one. There. Look at that.
There's another one.
Look at that. And she was something in the government between, I think, the 60s. Yeah.
CBK.
Yes, one of them was
By the way,
former
CBK governor.
CBK governor.
Awesome.
So some really cool photos taken. But anyway, moving away now from International Women's Day, but I think it's also a day of reckoning for Kenya, given the by-elections that we had. And in this regard, I'm talking about Kericho, where we had a newbie come into politics, and he's a 29-year-old man, Aaron Cheriot, who was not known before. And this, for me, I think is good news in terms of our political maturity, to have people elect somebody who they do not know, also young. It's a good day for the youth. And maybe we'll start off with his acceptance speech and his joy and jubilation after he won, and he's the now new senator for Kericho. So let's hear from Aaron Cheriot.
Oh, and he's flanked by...
I want to thank every resident of Kericho County who took their time to vote yesterday. You exercised your democratic right, and we are here today because of you. I also want to take this opportunity to thank the leadership of the Jubilee Alliance Party who came and stood with us during this campaign period, and now we are here celebrating because of the good work that they did.
All right, so your take on the youth now finally getting involved in the change of this country.
I think we'll see a lot of this next year.
2017.
2017. And the good thing is that many times, and in past generation, there was a talk of nyinyi viongozi wa kesho.
Leaders of tomorrow,
and the young men would go to school and get their degrees and all that and just sit back and just watch life be run on their behalf, which I think was a very bad perception of what life should be for a young man. When you're already empowered in terms of knowledge, academics, and in terms of you can become... I see many more young people aspiring to run their lives and the lives of their peers in this nature, whether it's in politics, whether it's in business and all that. And I think it's about time now. Young people stop looking at wazés as they're the ones who do things. Because I think, end of the day, unless or until the young man takes charge of over their life, the mzee who is there will continue to dominate in the way they used to know, and the world is moving really fast.
Okay. Queen?
Yeah.
Do you have political ambitions? Let's start from there.
Plans.
He has.
He has plans.
Yeah, so your take on the fact that the youth finally are, emerging as leaders.
No,
and being given the chance as well.
Yeah, it's due to public demand. But no, it's a good thing to see that young people are now who have the power a lot, and a lot of them are misused and just used and then dumped like hot coal. But it's really a good thing that we're seeing. We can give a chance to young people. Let's see how they can govern, because people have been tired and have been crying about bad or old school politics, which involves an old man who you cannot even meet or who will be too strict. These are young people who are probably approachable. It's their first time and they want to prove themselves, and most of them, as it is, quite reachable. It's someone you can come talk to and they understand some of the issues that we are facing right now. And that's why I'm saying, even in terms of things like drug abuse, alcoholism and stuff like that, an old man may not understand because things have changed. And the way young people are doing things, then that's probably where we have the problem. So when we have someone who's young coming in,
new ideas. Better. They can inject new ideas.
They can inject new ideas. And they're well educated.
You know what I like about this guy? More. Congratulations, by the way, Senator. When are they being sworn in? It's happening. When is it happening?
Well,
it's within. He's the guy. Yeah. Here's the thing. I love the direction that young people are taking. 2017, the wind of change is not coming. The wind of change is here. Why? Because you're no longer sitting back and saying, "Give it to me." Right. You are going out and getting it, because there is nobody who's just going to sit there and tell you, "Oh, I wish I could be gotten this." Young people are going out and getting it. And whether there is other people who think you can't do it, you will be able to do it. So I love the difference. It's no longer sisi manini kumekuwa vile kwa vile. It is us guys. We have what this is, and we are going out there and we are getting this done. Absolutely. So we have rolled our sleeves. We are there where it matters. And man, I mean, God help anybody who's thinking it's not going to happen.
The good news about this is that it's not all youth are involved in Project X.
I know.
We also have
There's also part of the Project Xness is about building up to the good end of where it's all going. So whether it's Project X, even that Project X person votes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
And I had some 4 young men in the studio, when was it? Yesterday. And these guys have invented a mobile app which can save lives. And I mean, they're in campus. It's not their main area of what they're studying, but it's good to see that we actually have some youth who are actually doing some constructive stuff.
No, it is serious. It is actually nice. Except, of course, you also remember there was a report about our jobless corner being bigger than the one in Tanzania. And,
yes, there's even an article in today's paper.
and Uganda and the other areas. But be as it may, I think Kenyan youth are like the best people when decide on something. And I think there is something they've decided. They've decided we are taking part.
Right.
They've decided. So it's going to be really difficult to stop them. Like that youthful guy, you know what, the day he got the certificate, he also got it from other people who we thought, actually, I think those of us who sat from the other end were like, hey, the guy who's being chosen on this end, this guy is not going to make it. And he went ahead and made it.
Absolutely.
And now he's going to be there. Now, other young people in other areas must be sitting down and saying, this is where I'm going.
Exactly.
So I think that parliament and will look good, yeah?
Youthful members of parliament we've had in the August House, we could say that if you look at their track record, they have done well. You look at people like Honorable Sakaja, we look at people like Honorable Mutula Kilonzo, and many other youthful politicians. You know, they just did not go there and decided to sit back. Yeah, they went there. In fact, Honorable Mutula Kilonzo, I think he's been ranked among the most active senators in, which is encouraging. So probably the challenge would be we would throw the challenge back at the youth, especially women, that come 2017, it's our golden chance, to go for people like Stevens. Yeah.
Who has political ambitions.
Yes, I have declared to be his campaign manager. In fact, people from the neighborhood wamekuchagua, you know. Yes.
So you already have a vote.
Yes, you have my vote.
We have less people sleeping in parliament. I want to see the next parliament, because these old people, sometimes after lunch, they get a little bit comfortable.
And I think the challenge is both ways while we look at that, because majority of the voters right now are actually the youth.
Yes.
So we need the youth to go out and vote. But secondly, we also need youth who will come out and say, I am standing, these are my values, this is what I'm going for, I want to represent you guys. So come to youth, we're looking up to you for a change of wind. Although it was worrying, the report that was there not too long ago, given that many want to be rich regardless of how you get rich.
That was also
and again, that was the youth.
But again, that has to be done with registration, and that closes
voting,
15, which is on Tuesday.
It's closing on Tuesday.
Yes, the registration, today is the 11th, so you only have another 4 days before the IEBC close the registration exercise, although they are not fully closing. It is ongoing, it will continue. It's only that was a major campaign to have 4 million voters come on board. Now, moving on to other news and international hot topics. One that was rather disappointing for me was Sharapova. And I think we have the up sound for that. And Sharapova is a tennis player who many look up to, and she was doing extremely, extremely well. But of course, now she was caught with... she tested positive on doping issues, and she came out to give her speech, and well, this is what she had to say.